assistive devices. Safety measures and considerations must always be in place when clients lift and transfer themselves from one place to another. To ensure safety during transfer, caregivers can follow this step-by-step guide. First, introduce yourself to the client. Explain what will happen during the transfer and how you will assist the client. Don't forget to perform hand hygiene. Ensure your client's privacy and dignity by closing the door and the window curtains or blinds. If the client has weakness on one side, brace your body on the client's weaker side. Have the client on the side of the bed and dangle the client's feet before placing them flat on the floor. Next, apply proper footwear. If you're physically unable to assist the client in standing, you can use a gait or transfer belt. To use a gait belt, fit the belt snugly around the client's waist. As the client leans forward, grasp the gait belt on the side of the client. With your arms outside the client's arms and your legs on the outside of the client's legs. The client's feet should be flat on the floor. Count to 3 and in a rocking motion, help the client stand by shifting weight from the front foot to the back foot, keeping elbows in and back straight. When you're not using a gait belt, remain bracing the client's body on the weaker side and count to 3 until the client is standing, so the client will be aptly prepared to stand. Now it's time to transfer the client to the selected assistive device. If the client will transfer to a wheelchair, here's what you should do. Ask the client if he or she is ready to transfer to the wheelchair. Once the client replies yes, have the client take a few steps back until the client can feel the wheelchair on the back of his or her legs. Have the client grasp the arms of the wheelchair and lean forward slightly. Allow your client to sit in a wheelchair slowly, using armrests for support. Remove the gait belt around your client and it's done. If the client will use a cane as his or her assistive device, here's what you should do as a caregiver. Give the cane to the client. Make sure that the cane is of proper height to the client. The proper height of the cane should measure from the floor to the crest of the client's wrist. Once the client is holding the cane, remain on the side of the client's body that is weaker in case more assistance is needed. If the client will use a walker, you can assist the client by giving the walker to the client. Make sure that the walker's height is comfortable to the client once he or she uses it. Remain on standby on the client's weaker body side in case more assistance is needed. To assist the client in transferring from the utilized assistive device to the bed, first, explain to the client what will happen during the transfer and how he or she can help. Perform hand hygiene. If the client is using a wheelchair, bring the wheelchair beside the client's strong side of the bed, making sure that the brakes are turned on. Put both of the client's feet flat on the floor. Move the footrests out of the way. Stand in front of the client. Ask the client to sit tall, lean forward, and push down on the armrest as you help the client to stand. Place your hands around the client's upper back. If the client has a weak arm, place your arm around it and not under it. Use a transfer or gait belt if you're physically unable to move the client. Help the client move the feet until the bottom is over the edge of the bed. Help the client sit down. Ask the client to reach for the bed, bend the knees, and keep the shoulders forward. To assist the client in transferring from a cane or walker to the bed, first, allow the client to move as near to the bed as possible. If the client needs further assistance in getting to the bed, place your hands around the client's upper back. If the client has a weak arm, place your arms around it and not under it. Use a transfer belt if you're physically unable to move the client. Once the client's feet touch the edge of the bed, help the client sit down. Ask the client to reach for the bed, bend the knees, and keep the shoulders forward.